Port Charles is about to be shattered in a way fans never saw coming. The heartbreaking announcement that Sophia Matson is leaving General Hospital has already left viewers reeling, but what's coming on screen is even more devastating. After years of portraying the resilient and beloved Sasha Gilmore, Sophia's exit storyline promises gut-wrenching twists, raw emotion, and a farewell that will ripple through every corner of Port Charles. And at the center of it all, the tragic, unexpected death of Daisy, the young girl who brought hope back into Sasha's life. Here's an exclusive look at how Sasha's final chapter unfolds and why this goodbye is going to leave everyone in tears. For months, Sasha Gilmore has clung to a fragile peace after surviving unimaginable loss and betrayal. Losing Liam, Brando, and the life she dreamed of nearly broke her beyond repair. But Daisy, an orphan teenager Sasha met through a community outreach program, rekindled her will to live. Daisy was never just another storyline addition. She became a surrogate daughter to Sasha, the embodiment of a second chance. Viewers fell in love with Daisy's sharp wit, boundless energy, and fierce loyalty to Sasha. It was the relationship that made fans believe Sasha might finally have her happy ending. But in true General Hospital fashion, hope doesn't always last forever. It starts on a seemingly ordinary day. Sasha and Daisy are planning to volunteer at the community center's summer fundraiser. Sasha is hopeful, even optimistic about the future, something fans haven't seen in years. Daisy, excited about applying to art school, is practically glowing. But tragedy is about to strike. While on her way to pick up last-minute decorations, Daisy is caught in a hit-and-run. Witnesses say the car came out of nowhere, speeding through a stop sign before Daisy even had a chance to react. The scene is written with haunting detail. Sasha rushes to the hospital after getting the call, only to find Daisy unconscious, her fate hanging by a thread. The waiting room becomes a cruel purgatory. Tears streaming, Sasha clings to Daisy's hand, whispering promises of trips they'll take, dreams they'll chase together. The doctors do everything they can, but Daisy never wakes up. She dies with Sasha at her side. Viewers who thought Sasha had already endured the worst will see a different kind of devastation. Daisy's death isn't just the loss of a loved one, it's the destruction of Sasha's last tether to hope. Scenes show Sasha wandering the hospital corridors in shock, her mind flashing back to Liam, Brando, and now Daisy. Her voice barely a whisper, she asks Liz and Finn, "Why do the people I love always die?" No one has an answer. Maxie, Nina, and Brooklyn rally around her, but Sasha's grief feels insurmountable. For the first time, she doesn't even try to hide it. She collapses on the hospital floor, sobbing so hard she can barely breathe. In the aftermath, Michael and Willow uncover something that changes everything. The hit-and-run wasn't a random act of recklessness. The car belongs to a low-level associate of Sonny's new enemy, who has ties to Brennan's fallen organization. The motive? A warning to Sasha, whose advocacy work had unknowingly threatened to expose part of their money laundering scheme through the community center. Sasha's grief turns to horror and guilt. Daisy died because she stood beside Sasha. This revelation destroys what little peace Sasha had left. The realization that Daisy's death was targeted pushes Sasha past the point of no return. As Port Charles reels from Daisy's death, Sasha quietly makes a decision. She tells Maxie, through tears, "Everywhere I look, I see ghosts. I can't do this anymore." Scenes show her walking through the Crimson office, running her hand over Liam's baby blanket she kept in a drawer, staring at photos of Brando and Daisy. She visits Brando's grave, leaving behind Daisy's favorite sunflower. At Nina's penthouse, she packs a single suitcase. Nina begs her to reconsider, saying she's part of the family. But Sasha's mind is made up. "I have to go," she whispers. "If I stay, I'll die too." Before leaving, Sasha shares gut-wrenching scenes with the people who meant the most to her. Maxie. The two best friends hug so tightly it looks like they might never let go. Maxie promises to keep Sasha's memory alive in every Deception product. Sasha thanks her for being her rock when she couldn't stand on her own. Brooklyn. Sasha asks her to look out for the young girls at the community center. Brooklyn, voice cracking, says, "You saved them more than you know." Nina, perhaps the most painful goodbye. Sasha thanks Nina for giving her family, even if it wasn't by blood. Nina sobs uncontrollably, telling Sasha she was the daughter she always dreamed of. Michael and Willow. Sasha apologizes for pulling away in recent months. Michael assures her she'll always have a place with them. Willow quietly tells Sasha, "You taught me what it means to survive." The final scenes show Sasha at the airport, Daisy's necklace in hand. She looks out over Port Charles one last time. In a voiceover, she reflects, "I came to this town lost, and I found love, heartbreak, and a strength I never knew I had. But it's time to see who I am outside of all this pain." She boards the plane, destination unknown. As the doors close, fans see a final flashback montage. Liam's tiny hand, Brando's smile, Daisy's laughter. Off-screen, Sophia Matson took to social media to announce her departure from General Hospital. In a heartfelt post, she thanked the fans, her castmates, and the crew for making the past 7 years unforgettable. "Playing Sasha has been the honor of my career," she wrote. "I poured my heart into telling her story of survival, love, and resilience. Thank you for embracing her and me with so much love." She teased that she's open to returning someday, leaving the door slightly ajar for a future cameo or arc. The fandom erupted into both heartbreak and gratitude. Sasha deserved better, but Sophia gave us everything. Daisy was the light in her life. This is the most tragic exit since Oscar's death. Sophia Matson is an icon. Port Charles won't be the same without her. Some viewers hold out hope that Sasha might return one day, perhaps healed and ready to build a new family. Daisy's shocking death doesn't just end Sasha's story. It kicks off a whole new canvas of drama. Michael and Sunny. Furious over Daisy's murder, Michael pressures Sunny to retaliate. Sunny, still haunted by what his enemies have cost his family, plans a dangerous move. Nina. Daisy's death shatters Nina's last hope of keeping Sasha close. She channels her grief into trying to rebuild her relationship with Willow and Wiley. Maxie and Brooklyn. They double down on community outreach, determined to honor Daisy's legacy and protect other vulnerable kids. New enemy. The shadowy organization behind the hit-and-run becomes the next major threat. Their ruthless tactics could draw in Jason, Anna, and even Dex. Sources close to the writing team reveal that while they considered giving Sasha a happier exit, they ultimately felt the character's legacy was about surviving even the deepest grief. Daisy's death, they felt, was the only thing tragic enough to believably push Sasha to finally leave Port Charles. Sasha's whole story has been about loss and resilience, one writer shared. It felt honest, if heartbreaking, that she would choose to leave before the cycle repeated itself again. While nothing is confirmed, insiders hint the door is wide open. If Sasha finds peace off-screen, she could someday return to Port Charles ready for a new love story. Daisy's killer could resurface, forcing Sasha to come back and face her past. If deception faces crisis, Maxie might call Sasha home. For now, though, viewers will have to say goodbye. In what fans are already calling Emmy-worthy performances, Sophia Matson's final episodes capture every shade of grief. Shock that feels almost numb. Guilt that Daisy died because of her. Anger at the cruelty of fate. And finally, acceptance that leaving might be the only way to survive. One critic wrote, "It's raw, devastating, and achingly human." Sophia Matson is giving a farewell performance that fans will remember for years. While Daisy's death is tragic, her spirit continues to inspire. The community center renames its art room in her honor. Brooklyn organizes an annual scholarship for underprivileged teens in Daisy's name. Maxie launches a new deception campaign centered on resilience and remembrance. In her short time on screen, Daisy changed lives, including Sasha's. As Sasha leaves Port Charles, it feels both inevitable and unbearably sad. She came to town as a con artist pretending to be Nina's daughter. Over time, she became so much more: a survivor, a mother, a friend, and a symbol of hope. Daisy's death might have broken Sasha's heart, but it also reminded her that life is precious, and sometimes, walking away is the bravest choice of all. Sophia Matson's exit storyline is the kind of tragic, beautifully acted arc that reminds us why General Hospital remains beloved after all these years. It's painful, yes, but also true to the character Sasha has become. And while the streets of Port Charles may seem emptier without her, the mark she left, on the town and on the fans, will never fade. Farewell, Sasha Gilmore. May your next chapter bring the peace you always deserved.